Sorrento Back Beach. For some, it makes a peaceful and relaxing day out. For others, it's an explorer's paradise. But for me, it's the water phenomena and geographical landscape that piques my interest. For more justification, I'm talking about the plume of spray that you may have noticed from the car park or down at the sand. This is a regular occurrence not just here but along any wavy coastline. It is called hydraulic action. With Sorrento and other areas surrounding, there is a cliff face and or remaining rock stack, and lying below it is geographically known as the wave cut platform, or the flat rock is what I like to call it. This coastal structure is definitely not everywhere around the world, so it depends on the type of rock formed millions of years ago. But gradually over the years, wave erosion has cut back the cliff face, revealing more and more of this platform. Some areas you'll see parts of the cliffs that stick out. Other areas you'll see parts of the platform that stretch out lengths. Even mini rock islands may appear. Out of everything though, Sorrento does have the main attraction, Sorrento Ocean Beach, or Sorrento Back Beach, or what I used to call it, Smile Beach. I called it that because of the All Smiles kiosk and wedding venue. Definitely one of Victoria's most popular places to get married. Now, the Google definition, aka the scientific definition. Hydraulic action is the process of moving water such as waves that wear away rocks and sediment along the coast. Simple, yet the term does vary. Another term to describe this even more specifically is wave pounding. The hydraulic action or wave pounding occurring here is displayed by the plumes of spray. And as stated before, you may have noticed this while you and your family are trying to spot some cargo ships. However, to get as specifically as possible, let me tell you about this rock exactly. We have the car park, wedding venue, sandy shore, and the four main rocks. Oh, how could I forget the lonely fifth one? Anyway, this is the remaining rock stack, soon to be gone. To get from the sandy shores to the rock labelled one easily, requires a very low tide. From 1 to 4, you need to cross a semi-dangerous area that the water flows through like a strong current. This is mainly when there's a lot of waves, and especially during big sets. Congrats, you're here. Now, waddling along the sharp rocks, especially towards the edge, is something I wouldn't recommend doing unless you're watching the waves very well and have sturdy reef shoes. Nonetheless, when you are there, the rocks present a floating look with arches trenched in between. This floating formation is actually what lies underneath most of the wave cut platform all along this coast, not just this specific area. I only know because I have ventured near the edge of multiple wave cut platforms numerous occasions. So on this end where the waves are, would have previously all been floating rocks sticking out. But due to the wave and water pressure occurring mainly underneath, the rock has previously been cracked, worn away, and possibly even completely fallen off. It may even be in the water below, covered in seaweed, that you can't really see because it's too deep. And speaking of seaweed, you can also see the kelp and layers of red colour the deeper the rock goes. And then on the other side has the two best trench areas. The rock would have all been floating, but erosion from water pressure underneath formed this trench once again. I'm sure some of you are starting to get an idea of how this works. One of my favourite characteristics is the way the kelp dangles down. Smart to back away a bit from the waves, even if they are tiny, they are so unpredictable. Here is the biggest trench near the edge. And look how thin some parts of the rock are. It honestly baffles me how it hasn't chipped off yet. So now that you have seen the exact topography, it'll be much easier to understand about the water. It honestly is pretty self-explanatory.
Beautiful.
A reminder though that this doesn't occur during high tides at all, and everything I'm about to say is only really visible in low tides. And the lower, the better. Lastly, and most importantly, is the waves. Like always. To put it simply, the bigger the waves, the better. When you have bigger waves, you have trough. Something I will mention often in these videos. Rock 5 at the back provides a smallish barrier from the large waves. Nonetheless, they still have plenty of energy and can be very powerful. And because it's a lower tide, the water level is much lower, obviously, and the waves approaching are swashing underneath the floating parts, not above. Which explains why you can't see them when they approach. The collision occurs underneath, but the floating rock above prevents the water from going anywhere. However, in our case, these trenches are formed over the years, and because there is a gap, there's only one direction out. Up in the sky.
See, it's very shallow. Birds over there keep arguing who's getting the next fish, but yeah, it's very, very shallow here. Very shallow, and you can swim across to there.
Because of the larger and larger swell size, the trough is lower at some points, revealing the rock more and more. This allows more room for larger swells to shoot upwards. I try my best with the visuals here guys, it does get a lot more harder to explain the more complicated it gets. Also note that this is a rough overview and everywhere to discover is different. But for now my friends, you have just learnt something new about Sorrento. Or in general. As well as some evening shots on my first beach day of the year.
think I can safely say today is the last day I'm going to be filming here. I know I've said that multiple times in clips I'm not going to include, me thinking I had the best day and realizing I still needed to get more, but I think today is the day, or this.
I'm not joking, I think I said that about 5 separate times.
But today is the day.
Editing this, I now realised it was so easy to just swim there and get way better proximity. The main thing stopping me was the police helicopter circling me before, as well as the lifeguards on the beach possibly getting worried. Here's the current you need to navigate to set foot on Rock 4.
As you can see, the water flows through, so you have to go in between sets. If a set comes and you're there, it'll most likely sweep you off your feet and drag you into here, which even then, if you can swim, if you know not to swim against currents, you can easily just get up here on these rocks here.
See a whirlpool effect as the wave takes place. Statistically speaking, this video took nearly 10 months to get the quote-unquote good footage for. I first ever announced the assemblage of this video May last year. And believe it or not, that same day had way bigger plumes of spray than any other time I've seen since. Just take a look for yourself. This snap was actually accidental, and when I didn't film in 4K with my phone. Take my word for it, there were ones nearly double that height that I was oblivious to. Simple perspective, the ones for this video were about the same height as this rock stack. And clearly the May video was much higher. Even though I got the perfect day for this video, which is the 6th of Feb, it still wasn't as crazy as I know it can be and as I was hoping for. It just goes to show there is still so much I don't know about. But what I have learnt from this video in particular is to have patience when filming, and especially patience for the perfect day of good weather.
So many different things that you can see. Like for this example, this is broken off, this one. Look at that. I remember during winter I had to swim through here, all behind me. To get back, now just easily walk, relaxed. So different, man. So today I can say now for sure this is the last day of filming here. I'm gonna come here a lot still, but when it comes to the filming, now that this is finally done, my main priority is to explore. And so this footage that I needed took very, very specific certain conditions. I finally got it right. It wasn't a low tide towards the evening, it wasn't not enough waves, it was perfect, very wavy, low tide during the day and sunny. That's exactly what I needed.
If I had to say, my favourite segment to both film and edit was November 16th. Being out there in the middle of the turquoise, stabled, calm water with everyone else on the beach felt eerie, yet peaceful. Also can't forget the magical rock pool. That's all folks. Thanks for watching.